Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Purposeful Pathway Radio, a place to refresh and revive, a haven with insights and inspiration, a pathway graced with passion and purpose. Join the journey and hear remarkable real-life stories of others as they travel their purposeful pathways.
Welcome to Purposeful Pathway Radio. This is Caroline Gavin, your show host, founder of Purposeful Pathway Business Coaching, and also the author of Purposeful Pathway, Your Journey with Jesus. I invite you to join the Purposeful Pathway journey here on Blog Talk Radio each week and also on the website, purposefulpathway.com. Purposeful Pathway Radio is a haven for heart-centered entrepreneurs. It is a journey in which faith and business gracefully intertwine. It is a pathway paved with purpose, peace, and passion. The guests on the show will share insights for faith-based business. They will also share inspiration from their spiritual journeys. My hope is that in listening, your businesses will grow and your lives will be enriched. My prayer is that these personal messages will allow God's peace, love, and joy to pave your purposeful pathways. I'm excited and honored that Dr. Pei Kang will join the show today. Dr. Pei Kang Bogus is an endodontist and also a certified life coach. She is passionate about revealing unique gifts in each individual to achieve true abundance and health. Dr. Pei has a successful private practice in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. She is also very active in her husband Joel Bogus's business, Finding Your Voice Radio. Their mission is to help people find clarity, confidence, and direction in work, business, and beyond. So she will share insights for entrepreneurs as well as inspiration from her spiritual journey today on the show. So a very warm welcome to the show, Pei. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, I am so honored and excited to share and to learn from you guys as well. So today,
thank you.
Absolutely, I don't think I ever shared my journey to know Christ in public before, and I appreciate that platform today.
Well, I have to thank you for doing that. It's not something that not everybody is comfortable with doing, and I would love to hear your journey. I feel it would be a great framing for the rest of the insights that you have to share with us. So thank you for sharing your journey, and you're welcome to share that right now if you'd like, how you came to know the Lord and what that looked like for you and your purposeful pathway.
Thank you. Sure. I just want to, before I share that, I just want to also tell our listeners later, as far as the business insights, I want to talk about productivity and how we can actually achieve more goals by eliminating distractions. And so I'm excited to share that as well. Should I begin about my journey to know Jesus?
Yes, that would be
Okay.
great, and I'm definitely looking forward to the conversation about focus, because that is something that is pervasive in all areas of life, certainly including business. But absolutely, I'd love to hear about your journey with the Lord.
Sure. Well, I actually came to the United States when I was 25. I just about first day at school, we learned there's no God. All that was supernatural. And so when I came here, I was, that's after college. I was actually a very confident young woman. Little did I know that my confidence at the time was built on what I achieved, the degrees I had. And I remember this was interesting. I sat outside the dormitory of the dental school, and this young lady, she came and asked me if I know Jesus. I said no. and she was talking to me about giving my life to Christ, and then she said, well, if you don't, then what if when you die you go to hell? To be honest with you, at the time, I mean, this is possibly sound odd to you or to a lot of people who grow up in this country, in this culture with lots of spiritual influence. But for me, at the time, coming from a communist country that has learned all my life there is no such a thing as God, my response to today, I still remember, I said, how do I know there is hell? And I was continue building on what I did everything through my own strength. And right now, looking back, at that time, I was so proud of all the things I was able to do. But God had another plan. About
he
a year
usually does.
So I was to a point in my life, I was knocked to my knees. Earlier I was sharing how confident I was with myself, but really my confidence was built on my, exterior achievements. But then when I realized when I came to this country with no family, no friends, the connection I had in this world, I no longer had. And I couldn't express my emotions because the language barrier. I had little money, and I did not know where my future is going to go. And on top of that, I was in a very stressful PhD program at the time, and I didn't know how long it's going to take for me to graduate and what happens afterwards. And I had all these things. I felt like, okay, I am not in control anymore. And on top of that, there was a painful romantic breakup. So
those can be very painful. So it sounds like you had this perfect storm of elements to really shake your confidence. And like you said, your sense of being in control. Sure.
And I now think about that time. I just remember recently I saw this quote. They said, when everything falls apart, maybe they just fall in place.
Yeah.
So
that's a powerful one.
So I was a friend of ours from dental school. She was a dental assistant. There's something about her I just always feel attracted to. So when she invited me to church, I kind of went with her once in a while. But this one Sunday, I still remember how it felt. I don't remember what the pastor said, but I just knew. I raised my hand and I walked to the front. That was the beginning.
Amen.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of your journey of getting to know him. And how did things progress after that point?
Well, I like to say everything changed. I wish I could say I was a different person from that point on, but I have to say the truth for me was it was a baby step, and the continue going, listening, learning. I'm still doing that. I'm still growing as an individual, and I guess the older I get, the more I realize how much the real success in life I want to achieve in relationship, in business, it has to come from my own growth. And I cannot grow until I really know who I am in him and what he has in store for me.
That's a powerful point. And I appreciate your humility and saying that it wasn't an overnight transformation. So many of us wish that it were. Our salvation is instantaneous, but that growth and that sanctification, that is a process. And like you said, we have to keep growing and learning and understanding God's purpose for us as His children and as individuals.
You're absolutely right. And thinking back, I also look at what I know now, and I think we all have this thought that, oh gosh, I wish I knew what I know now, if only. But I'm doing my best every minute, every day, or I think I have to say that's good enough.
Absolutely. Giving your best and allowing God to fill in where our weaknesses are, because we know that His strength is made perfect in our weakness. But how can we allow His strength to work in us if we don't admit our weaknesses and we don't see our weaknesses? So that is so true, and you've had such a humble spirit throughout this process where you've come from a space of being very confident in your own abilities to a place of being very humble and seeing your shortcomings and allowing God to work through them.
Yeah, thank you. And when you mentioned that word confidence, now I know the true confidence is really to know who I am and to the confidence is no longer built on what I do, my degrees. I am being His daughter. I am enough. So I'm still continuing to work on that. But I believe, there is another, when I mentioned to you what I'd like to share on your show, there's another message I was so extremely passionate about, is the confidence that to know we are enough, just being ourselves.
Absolutely. I'd love for you to share on that topic because it is a powerful one. So often we are confident in those externals. And that's not to say we shouldn't strive to do well and that we shouldn't get those degrees and that we shouldn't serve with all of our hearts, but that our real confidence comes down to being who we are in Christ. So absolutely, I'd love for you to share. I'd love for you to share on that topic. I think it's a powerful one, and when people really understand that in their hearts, not just their heads, it can be transformational.
Absolutely. So for today, should we stay with the focus topic?
Well, yes, we can touch a little bit on the confidence, but the focus piece I think is very helpful too, because for entrepreneurs, as they're embarking on their journeys and doing the best that they can to serve God and to serve their clients, it can become overwhelming because there's so much to do and so much bombarding us. You should do this, you should market with this social media venue. So absolutely, I think focus is something that will resonate with everybody listening today, even if they're not entrepreneurs.
I agree. And what I'd like to share here is actually I just came back from a very awesome live event by Darren Hardy. He's a publisher for Success Magazine.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I received his emails and read his work, so he's excellent, very inspiring.
Yes, and he is, I was in the front row in San Diego this past weekend, and this information is so fresh in my mind. And to be honest with you, I really thought I knew just about so many things already, and I thought, what's new in here? What's new about productivity here? And when he started talking about distractions, and I thought, I am doing really well in this department. First of all, I haven't watched TV for a couple of years, and a few months ago I quit reading, just browsing for internet news. So what do you have for me? And then he started talking about mobile device distractions, social media distractions. And then he gave us this productivity addiction assessment questionnaire. And as I was going down the list, he said, check yes, just be brutally honest with yourself, and check yes. So there are examples like if you have to wait in line for more than 2 minutes, do you pull out your cell phone? And do you refresh your inbox over and over in case somebody emailed you? And when you post a update on Facebook, are you disappointed if nobody click like or comment? Do you check your... Oh, wait. Did you hear that beep?
Yes.
Okay. I need to turn my cell phone off, speaking of the mobile device addiction.
Barely. Yes. But it's a perfect timing. It's perfect timing for as you're sharing this list. And I bet you there are a lot of us that are saying, I know that feeling. Absolutely. Yeah.
And when I was checking down the list, and let's see, there are a couple others. I thought it was kind of embarrassing. Do you sometimes bring your smartphone when you sit on the toilet?
Oh, wow.
When you're on a teleconference, are you also scanning your email at the same time?
Right.
So I turned out, after I think there are so many questions, but I turned out to be the pothead.
Wow.
I wasn't.
Here you had gone in thinking that you had nothing to really gain because you were already very focused. So it's such a testament to how we can always be learning more about ourselves and how to improve.
Yeah, at that moment, I guess something like this just gave me a different level of awareness. And I know Darren Hardy, he is a guy that a lot of his success has been building on being very intentional. One example, he didn't expand on that, but I remember he was telling a story of once he find out what is productive for him, and he said, well, okay, during one day, if I do this one activity in my business make money. So he started tracking how long he does that activity per day. That's back when he was really young, in his early 20s, still selling houses. And so he put on a stopwatch, and he timed how long he does his I forgot that activity. He said when he does that more, his business make more money. So when he tracked time, at the end of the day, he find out he only does that particular activity about half an hour a day. So what he was sharing the statistics showing we are distracted every 3 minutes, and it takes almost 10 more minutes to regain that concentration.
That's a great point right there, because sometimes people say, well, if the phone just rings, it only takes a minute. But regaining that focus, if you are really in a moment of creativity and then you're off track and you have to get back on track, that really takes a lot of time. So that's an excellent point, and really is an encouragement to block time to do your creative work or those activities that bring the most income and impact into your business.
Right. Yeah. and because he has a powerful. It's real simple how he illustrated. He said, pick out as few goals as possible for your year, for your week, for the day. But once you pick out those goals that you want to achieve today, pick out your number one goal, the most important one, and you do it first in the morning, and you block, his suggestion is 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, you do not check email. You do not care what the social media, how many tweets you got, and you dive in. And there are other people who have adopted that concept and have made major changes in their businesses. They actually came back to the seminar to learn more from him. There was one lady, she's a swim school. She owns quite a few swim schools, and it's a multi-million-dollar business that owns 150 employees, not owned, but has. And she's also a mother of 2 young children, and her life has been extremely overwhelming. Just having children alone, that's an enterprise on its own. Not too much.
I can attest to that. Being a mom of 2, so yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and she said just by focusing on the first goal of the day, and she actually found out she has more time during the day.
That is so true. And getting the first most important goal during the day, not only do you guarantee that you're going to get it done, but it gives you this energy and this momentum for the rest of the day, because as Brian Tracy says, you've eaten that frog first thing in the morning.
That's it.
So I think that's a great point, and something that heart-centered entrepreneurs can apply right away, and also everybody, whatever you're doing in your life, if you do the most important thing first thing, and make sure you do that, block off your time, turn off the social media, the email, the phone even, and just focus on that.
Absolutely, and I am doing better the last couple of days after I came back from the seminar, as far as not constantly check my email or Facebook. I am implementing some of it, because he was saying you ought to. Well, let me share this first. I find it interesting. There's this Professor Wrighty at Harvard University. He's a psychologist. He said the compulsive use of mobile devices and computers is actually addiction similar to other addictions. Yeah, and I do see how it distracts us from our work and take us 10 minutes to get back to our work creativity, but also I realize that, for example, when we wait in line, I pull out my phone. It's almost like I couldn't be silent with myself. And, there are times God speaks to us in silence. But instead of...
when we're still.
Mm-hmm. So instead of allowing that quiet time, just be okay to be alone. Be okay not to being always engaged with other people's lives. Be okay not to receive that. Sometimes when we want to check email or check social media, it's almost like we want to feel loved, feel connected. And when somebody... when I post something and somebody click like, I'm like, yay! And
that confirmation and that affirmation, like you said, that connection.
Validated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which in itself is not a bad thing, but to be addicted to it can be
right.
Can take us away from exactly. I think that's a great point. Which is all of us. Most of us use social media for our businesses and even for our personal lives. So this is not to say that it's not good in and of itself, but to be addicted to it, that's where we have to be careful.
Right. And when we do business, we do need to use social media. We engage people on it, and right or wrong, that's one of the best ways to reach people these days. And, we live in a world now that we don't go out reach for information. We actually, the information, they coming at us. So I just want to share a real quick point. He said just a quick tip is to separate your devices. Maybe use your mobile device, your iPhone only for social media. Use your computer only for work, or set a time. You only use at a certain time. You check your email. It's train other people how you don't allow other people to expect always an instant getting back to them. So be in control with your schedule.
Scheduling that time to reply to emails and go onto social media just at one point, or maybe you'll determine 2 points during the day, I think is very powerful. And it's amazing how much we can accomplish when we actually block our times like that. And then, as you said, people will not expect those instant responses. Or on Facebook, they won't expect instant replies to the comments. And I actually had to go through that process myself, where I only go on once every 24 hours. And initially, people were concerned, and then now that's what they expect. I will get back in the next 24-hour period. So I think that's a great point and such a strong tip for increasing productivity.
Yeah, it's almost embarrassing for me to share it. I think by sharing this, I hope I continue to learn myself, because it is very hard for me, and I find out how many times I want to check my email during the day. But really, that takes my attention away from what's really important. What do I really want to achieve today?
I think we all struggle with that, even because potentially there's clients in the email and things that we need to resolve. So that is always finding a balance. I'm only going to check it. Maybe it'll be 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., or somehow around your other assignments for the day and appointments. It takes a lot of discipline. The more, though, I think we set those boundaries, the more we see the benefit of it, and the easier it becomes in time. But these are excellent points, and I feel we could have another conversation just on this topic alone, probably multiple conversations. So I hope that you'll come again, and actually we have a caller with a question, so I just want to unmute that caller. Hi, Ann, it's Caroline.
Hi, Caroline. Hi, Pei.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I don't have a question. I just wanted to say, and I didn't want to take up your time because I was so interested in how you were sharing. I just wanted to say how very much I could relate to everything you were saying. Just eliminating those unnecessary distractions and setting those clear boundaries around your time can make you so much more productive. And I've been working on that a lot lately, too. I don't have a smartphone because I don't want one. I don't want to be able to do that because I can see with my daughter, who's grown up more with that, they are addicted to it. I mean, she has that phone with her at every moment. And she's student teaching, and she has to keep it shut off during the day.
Wow.
So I think it's kind of breaking her of it a little. So I can see everything you shared is awesome, and I hope you will come back and talk more on this because I really learned a lot today.
Oh, thank you. Well, can I have a quick confession?
Sure.
as you were talking, I opened the browser and I close it immediately, and I start standing up and start doing a little bit walk in my office. Darren said, yes, you can combine a physical activity of walking with doing a mental, but not too mental at the same time.
Absolutely. I've done that in the past. I'll start listening to something and say, let me just quick check my email. I can't concentrate on both. I can't do it, so I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Pei. I enjoyed it.
If you're not devoting everything, you can't focus completely.
No.
So maybe you're gleaning these little teeny bits of knowledge, but if you're just focused on the one, and we all get tempted with that. Of course, it's so easy to click on the email. If you're listening to a teleseminar, I'm just going to check my email while I'm doing it. But how are you benefiting from it?
You're not.
If you're exactly.
Yeah.
Choose one. So
True.
I agree with you, Anne. Such excellent points, and I'm sure everyone who's listening can relate to those. And I like that some of them are even humorous, because it just shows, it's true. How often are we pulling for that phone or checking that email, and even when it's nonsensical. So thank you so much. I appreciate your support and your encouragement week after week. So thank you, Anne.
Very much enjoyed the interview. Always do.
And I'm looking forward to having you on the show next week.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Anne.
And I'm going to go ahead and just give a couple of updates, and then I'm going to ask how people can get a hold of you, because I'd love for them to reach out to you and learn more about these insights and practical guidance for learning how to really move forward in your heart-centered business and to have a more passionate, purposeful life. So first of all, I just want to give a couple updates to our listeners, and that is to invite all of you to join me next week, Wednesday, March 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Anne Musico, who we just heard from, will join the show. Anne is a certified biblical health coach, as well as an author and freelance writer specializing in health issues. She has been a born-again believer and committed follower of the Lord Jesus Christ for the past 28 years. Her relationship with God is her foundation, and it colors her approach to everything else in life. Her mission is to encourage, educate, and empower people to live vibrant lives of wholeness by communicating God's principles of nutrition and health. She will share tips for three-dimensional living, insights for faith-based entrepreneurs, as well as inspiration from her spiritual journey on the show. So I hope you'll join us. And as always, if you cannot join live, you can enjoy the archive at purposefulpathwayradio.com. And second, I want to remind everyone that a powerful complement to the journey we take here on the radio show each week is the free workbook, Journey to Joy. And this workbook, Purposeful Pathway Journey to Joy, is a gift for me when you sign up for the free practical, actionable, and inspirational newsletter at howtolivjoyfully.com. That's howtolivjoyfully.com. So I encourage you to sign up if you haven't already to claim this book as your gift. And again, I thank you for joining this journey. So again, before we close, Pei, I want to ask, how can people get a hold of you and learn more?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I hope most people listening don't need a root canal right now. So
I hope not too. But if they did, you'd be the perfect one to refer to.
Yeah, but I will invite everybody to come check us out at findingyourvoiceradio.com. We actually, I love the title of your book. I need to check it out, but not right now, not when I'm talking. I'll check it out afterwards.
Not right now, don't open the browser, but thank you. I'm so glad you like the title. Thank you.
My husband's working to release his third book on finding your voice. Sort through the clutter and get clarity, confidence, and direction. But currently, we have a ebook to give away called Passion. It's one of the I would say passion is one of the puzzle pieces in the journey of finding more clarity. But I really appreciate this time for me to share something I just learned and then continue to work on. And I hope I become more focused in this journey and more purposeful in my walk with him.
Thank you so much. I had such a great time today, and I learned so much, and it was a lot of fun, too. And I can tell even just from Anne's comment that what you said is resonating with the listeners, and that by applying what you shared today about focusing and weaning ourselves from social media and other technological addictions, that we can really have much more productivity, and with that, allow our passions to really grow and to walk more purposefully. So thank you again, and I hope you'll come again. I feel we only scratched the surface of this topic, and I know there are other topics we can explore too.
Oh, awesome. I will be honored to.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank also all of our listeners. I appreciate all of you for joining me here every week and for learning more about how you can be purposeful in your journeys. So may God bless each and every one of you on your purposeful pathways.